What's good? It's your boy, ChocolateJesus, live in the flesh, back in that bit. Um, Big thanks to nobody because they're not paying. But I am gonna eat some of these right now. I wanted to before I started the video, but I ain't gonna let the video stop me from enjoying a couple of these sour whatchamacallits. But good sour bittles. We ain't gonna say their real name because they're not paying us. But this sour bittles. But yeah, so this week in the college football world, what we got going on, man? We have to do a college football week 4 rundown. I'm pulling it up right now. Let's switch it over so y'all can see that. Alright, so we're gonna get right into it, man. We're trying to make these videos quicker so y'all don't have to watch all that content. But we do have, deep, more in-depth stuff going on. We're gonna be giving y'all film watching. We're gonna be giving y'all podcasting, and we're gonna be taking questions and answering direct questions on the lives. Right now the recordings is just going, every week we're gonna do a NFL and a college football rundown, which is running down that before it happens, pre-game, before the weekend. We're gonna talk about all the games that's happening this weekend. Then after the weekend, sometimes I want to wait until after the Monday night with the NFL, the Monday night game, because that's usually a pretty good game. So it's usually a Tuesday when I get to y'all with the roundup. And the roundup is where we, round up what happened. Rundown is like run down what's coming, and we're going to round up and we're going to see what happened. But let's go ahead and get into this, man, like I was saying. So we got Rutgers versus Michigan. Both teams are 3-0, but I don't think Rutgers is talking about anything at the level that Michigan is talking about. So this one is going to be an easy wash. The Michigan didn't wash whoever they played last week as well. I don't want to really go into it and look into it right now. We're going to start doing that type of stuff when we do lives and we're doing Patreon. But Michigan didn't beat the brakes off of whoever they played last week, and it was a lesser opponent for sure. So maybe they let Rutgers hang around and they don't cover that 24-point spread. Florida State Clemson. This is going to be a surprisingly good game because it's going to tell us if Clemson is any good anymore. I think Florida State should win this game because they have the athletes now, but Clemson do still have a couple of them boys. Clemson has a couple guys that are, always NFL talent. And maybe they got to get into form, But they got Florida State, and Florida State looks pretty good. It's just Florida State isn't consistent. Sometimes they play down to the competition. Sometimes they blow you out. And sometimes it look like they're going to lose. But we're going to have to take... Dang, I want to take Clemson on this one. But I'm going to say Florida State makes it shake. And Florida State gets away with the win in Clemson. In South Carolina. That's crazy. Next up, Oklahoma versus Cincinnati. Okay. Sooners versus Bearcats. Oklahoma should easily wash this. And one thing about Oklahoma is Oklahoma's been scoring an outrageous amount of points. So I believe this is going to be a walk in the park for them. Let me take this do-rag off. Let's see. Colorado, Oregon. That's a game. But I believe Oregon is going to beat Colorado. Not by a lot, but maybe 10 points, 14 points. Colorado is that it's a success to me as long as they stay within one touchdown. If they can keep it close until the fourth, even if it's a 10-point game, and they go down and try to get that touchdown, and maybe Oregon ices it away and scores a garbage time touchdown to make it look farther away. As long as they keep it close in the fourth, I think Colorado did a good job. They're not supposed to win this game. We ain't gonna do a whole lot on the Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and all that. But Oregon does have a really good receiver named Troy something. I'm bad on the research today. Troy Brown? Maybe. But I don't want to get his name wrong. Let's actually look at it since we're doing this. Come on. What they got? Troy Franklin. And this game is going to be a real test for Shador. Wait, them sour bittles busting. But it's going to be a real test for Shador. And it's going to be a real test for Xavier Weaver. This guy, Xavier Weaver, the receiver from Colorado, is looking the part. But we don't know if he's really a talent like that. So this season, this game going up against another one of them guys, considered one of them guys in this year's receiver, room. This should be something, This guy doesn't get a ton of catches, a ton of this and that, but he's actually one of those guys in this receiver class coming out. This Troy Franklin fellow. So we could see Xavier Weaver. He does have a lot of production, but we'll see what's going on with this game. Back to the regular dashboard. Okay, so now, like I said, this game I got Oregon winning by about 10, I'll say 10 or 14. This game we got the UCLA Bruins versus the Utah Utes. Utah is really good. I don't think they've played anybody really good this year. And UCLA might be sneaky good. They're a scrappy team. But Utah's really good. So, yeah, I'm going to give Utah this game. It's going to be a close one. Field goal's going to win it. Field goal, yep. A field goal is definitely going to win it. Next up, we got Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Ole Miss Rebels. The Hottie Toddies. That's funny. But this year, Alabama and Nick Saban is very vulnerable. We just don't have the deep roster that they usually have. They don't have the elite quarterback. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, really good system, and I love Lane Kiffin. This is going to be a crazy one. If it's not a blowout, if Alabama doesn't come out there and just beat the dog shit out of Ole Miss, this one is actually Alabama will lose by a field goal or a last-second touchdown, or we're going to lose by just enough and not be able to drive down the field and get that last touchdown, that last score. But I do see Alabama coming out and handling business 24-14, or let's say a 31-21. I'll say that. 31-17, 31-21. If it's a 31-24, I don't like that because they're a touchdown away. But it's going to be something like that. Alabama wins. Duke versus UConn. Duke's definitely going to win that game. We're not going to spend any time on this. Duke has a good kid by the name of Riley Leonard, and he's pretty good at quarterback. UConn, no chance. Okay, UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners versus the Tennessee Volunteers. Oh snap, we skipped Miami and Temple. But UTSA versus Tennessee Volunteers. I definitely got Tennessee winning this. Joe Milton and those boys. Although they did lose to Florida. Florida is, I guess, rounding up into shape. I don't know. You never know with those guys. They're good. They're not. I don't know. They're just inconsistent. I think it's coaching down there. But we're yet to see. We'll see about game 6 or 7, whether it's the team or coaching and how inconsistent they are. Or whether it was just early season. They weren't running at all cylinders, you know. The same could be said about Clemson as well. But back up to Miami versus Temple. I'm going to say Miami because Miami has been scoring a lot of points on people this year. They're not back. They're not like world beaters. They're not really, really good. But I do think they can beat a decent Temple team. And Temple's never really that good. I think they're the Temple Owls. But they're never really super, super good. It's just they get a lot of good athletes from their city. They out there in Philly, you know. Miami's going to win that. Now, Arkansas LSU. I would like to see Arkansas win this, but LSU can score kind of at will on the right teams. And Arkansas can't really score. They just keep the score low and they edge you out and make the game very, very fast because they're running the ball, so the time just keeps running off the clock. You don't have as many possessions. But I see this being it's going to be a wash by LSU. They're going to wash Arkansas. Even though Arkansas is pretty good, they got well, I'm not going to say their quarterback's a running guy, but they got a less high powered offense than average teams. All right, now we got Oregon State, Washington State. This one right here is going to be a barn burner. This is definitely going over 58 points for sure. And I think Washington State is going to win this. I think Washington State will win that. They'll beat Oregon State, even though Oregon State is a pretty good team. I think Washington State can just put those points up on the board. But we'll see. Oregon State is quarterbacked by DJ Ugalele, the guy from Clemson. He transferred out of there and went to Oregon State, and they've been putting up points on people. But Washington State is also a point scoring team. They just always start out a lot lower on the food chain. Even though both these teams are 3-0, I think Oregon State gets a little bit more respect, and they get, obviously more benefit of the doubt because they're going to play a few more good teams. They're both in the Pac-12, but Washington State is going to be scheduled versus more trash teams than Oregon State is. Like a Weaver or a Salem State or something like that. Washington State is going to have a couple more of those guys, so it's usually harder to climb the ladder because once you get on the ladder, you have a lot of easy opponents. You're not really going to get tested, and it's hard to ding somebody if they keep winning, even when you beat up a weenie. You beat up a pause. Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa, pause, chill. Hey, yo. Anyway, when you beat up a cupcake, a Power Puff. So I got Washington State upsetting Oregon State. Charlotte versus Florida, we're not going to waste no time on that. Florida's probably going to win that game for sure. They're down in Gainesville again. They beat Tennessee last week. That's why Tennessee has a loss on their record. And Florida is still ranked under them because Florida is so inconsistent. You never know. UAB versus Georgia. I want UAB to upset Georgia so bad. But I'm not taking Georgia by 42 points. Georgia is not gonna run roughshod on UAB like that. And UAB is a nobody. It's just Georgia's not that volatile, high velocity team. Like they're not. So I got Georgia winning that. By 21 to 28 or 30 points or something, but they're not going to clear 42 and a half. They're not going to whoop them like that. They're not even going to be trying to score like that and give up all their plays and playbook. Then we got Texas and Baylor, which Baylor's going to fight and scrap to be, this is a real rivalry and just bragging rights. Not a rivalry, but just bragging rights. Like they're so close compared to a lot of other places in Texas. Austin is fairly close to Dallas. So, let's see. It's fairly close to Houston as well. Austin is, but not Dallas. Dallas is kind of close, but Austin is kind of in between both of them, and that's where Baylor is. Or no, Baylor's in Waco. Nope, and Waco is kind of in between. Yeah, Texas is just crazy. They got too much shit going on. There's like a million actual real college programs going on in Texas. They got like Texas Tech, they got this Texas, they got Baylor, they got Houston, they got, UTSA, they got so many schools in Texas, North Texas, who else did I forget? Texas A&M. Did I say Texas Tech? Yeah. So many spots. TCU, SMU, that's crazy. So yeah, let me just stop because they got too many. We're gonna be here all night doing that. And I feel like Texas is gonna beat Baylor. This is gonna be easy peasy for Texas. I ain't gonna lie. Uh-oh, that was me. Oh well, dark video from now on. I gotta plug that light back up. I pulled it out with my foot. We're gonna have next up. Oh yeah, that's a good matchup right here. Ohio State versus Notre Dame. And one thing I want to say is I got Notre Dame. Notre Dame is going to beat Ohio State this year, guys. Let's look at this one right here. See what this is going to be looking like. Tell the tale of the tapes. 6 times in a row for Ohio State against Notre Dame. Well, 5. They're looking for 6. That's crazy. And they don't play each other all the time. So that's crazy. Oh, shit, my phone. All right. Calm down. Shh. My dog. Good job. Good boy, Jack. Good boy. Anyway. Okay. So yeah, Notre Dame has a good passing attack with Sam Hartman. Kyle McCord. Good passing attack. They probably got a running court at Ohio State. They probably got a good, backfield, but they do got an amazing receiving core at Ohio State. It doesn't look like the receiving core is too special. Dang, 8 for 216, that's special. I like that. But look like they got a hellified running game. And they can pass that thing. He's already at 1,000 yards in a couple games. That's some Shedeur Sanders numbers. And they haven't been playing no weenies, so that's pretty good. Yeah, man, this is going to be a pretty good game. Evenly matched, hopefully. But Notre Dame usually does, beat all right teams. And then when they play somebody like this, we found out that they're only all right. So let's see. Neither team has played anybody, honestly, but Notre Dame has played Navy. And if Western Kentucky and Central Michigan were to play, I think Western Kentucky would win, so Ohio State got that one. NC and Yale or whoever that is. St. Laurent University. In North Carolina, I take North Carolina. And then IU and Tennessee State, I take IU probably. So Ohio State's probably had a tougher schedule. But then I got to take the Navy. They played 4 games, and they're still 4-0. So, yeah, we'll see. This is a good one, man. I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but that one was actually worth it. That's worth it. All right. On to the last part of this schedule. We got Iowa, Penn State. Not going to be able to watch that. That's going to be a horrible game to watch. Penn State whooping on Iowa. Iowa's not going to put up too many points. They are 3-0, but I don't respect it. Sorry. Anyway, North Carolina, Heisman hopeful Drake May. Pittsburgh, they're going to whoop Pittsburgh. Absolutely smoke them. I don't know why it's only a 7.5, line, but I would definitely take North Carolina on that. They're going to absolutely smoke Pittsburgh. But I don't know if the team around this quarterback is any good, but Pittsburgh's team isn't any good either. So the teams are going to match out, and they're just going to have a superior quarterback out there playing ball tomorrow on Saturday. Last, USC, Arizona State. I got USC for sure. But Arizona State's a scrappy team when they're playing somebody who's actually something. So I could see them, keeping it interesting until the third. And then, after the adjustments come from Coach Lincoln Riley and, they kind of get to watch the iPads during halftime a little bit and see what's happening from a 360 bird's eye view type of deal. An aerial view and, all of that, the drone and, cameras and all 22s and just so much stuff on them tablets. They're going to, get back to regular USC and put them points up on them and just stretch and just leave them. So, yeah, USC, I got them on that. Then we got Cal and Washington. Washington's actually really good. I got them beating Cal. Easy money. This is a good one, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm tired as hell, too. It's late. I got a full day tomorrow watching college football. Then I got a full day ahead of me watching some NFL football. And then on Monday, I'm going to get back to y'all. And we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to see what happened. We're going to tell the storylines. And we're going to figure out what happened and what wasn't supposed to happen. And how they let it happen. And whether it will happen again. So, let's see. My game of the day. Damn, it's a tie, honestly. Damn, it's 3 games of the day. But I'm not going to count Alabama Ole Miss as a game of the day because Alabama could come out there and look like horse shit. I'm going to say the games of the day is going to be obviously Colorado and Oregon. And Notre Dame, Ohio State. So the games that you guys need to tune into throughout the day primarily stick to during that first slot, Florida State, Clemson. Stay locked on that channel, ABC, until it's over. After that, Colorado and Oregon, same channel, ABC, locked in for the 3:30 slot. But I would bounce back and forth between Utah and UCLA and Alabama Ole Miss right here. And I wouldn't watch anything else but these 3 games. Pac-12, SEC, Pac-12, right then. This is more of your 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock time slot. And I'm not really interested at 7 for the Arkansas LSU. That's more of a game I'm just going to check the score on. But I am gonna watch the Oregon State and Washington State game because both these teams also play Colorado. Not right now in this stretch, but later on in the season, after Colorado plays USC and this Oregon team this week, they have to play both of these teams. So I need to see what they look like. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna be watching this game. Definitely gonna be watching this game. Tuning in on the score on this game on the Arkansas LSU, but I'm definitely gonna be watching Oregon State Beavers, Washington State Cougars. Got to. And then by that time, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that Ohio State Notre Dame. It's on and it's popping. I'm not worried about Texas Baylor. I'm not worried about Georgia UAB, University of Alabama Birmingham Blazers. I'm not worried about it. So we're going to be watching the Ohio State Notre Dame game until about 10 o'clock. We ain't going to be checking in on nothing else until it's USC time. Then I might bounce back to see Washington because, like I said, man, it's crazy. I don't think Colorado has to play Washington, the Huskies. I think they missed them this year. They got lucky. But they definitely got to play USC and Arizona State. And they got a little, Arizona State's not part of the gauntlet. But like I said, they got Oregon State. They got Washington State. They got a good amount of teams. The Oregons, the USCs, they already played at TCU. Yeah, man. That's game of the days. That's how the game day is going to go. All the way from 10:30, all the way till 10:30, which is gonna lead me past into midnight. But we're gonna do the USC Arizona State, the Ohio State Notre Dame, the Oregon State Washington, and a mix between the Colorado Oregon game for sure. Got to see what Colorado looks like. UCLA Utah. They play Utah as well. That's why I said Colorado has a gauntlet to run through. And all these teams aren't top tier, but these are really good teams. Not no hoe. And then Alabama Ole Miss. Like I said, I'm gonna be flipping through these. Through these three right here. These are the ones I want to see. I'm gonna have to check these out. That's my 3:30 slot. But then the first one, you want to see that Florida State Clemson. Oh, not all of that. We're not watching all of that. We're watching these. Those right there. That's what we're watching. So yeah, man. Once again, it's your boy, ChocolateJesus Sports. We out this motherfucker, man. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. We about to start getting going, man. Tap in with me tomorrow night if you want to see this NFL video. I'm gonna upload. Hey, shout out to Rip Off Magazine, man. They just followed me. Shout out Rip Off Magazine, man, on IG. Ripoff, RIPOFF.mag. Pressure. I followed them a while ago. They got some really dope shit, man, and they fuck with American hardcore streetwear. That's a little clothing brand you guys need to go check out, man. American hardcore streetwear, AH streetwear. They go crazy. And Ripoff is the first place that I seen this stuff at, other than me just being into what I'm into. And boom, I was like, yeah, I gotta get him a follow, because that's how I know you really in the loop in these streets, you know, out here in these little lanes, in these little different rooms, you know, behind different doors and shit. So yeah, man, it's me. We out. I'm finna go to bed, man. I got a long day of football ahead, man. And I might tap in on some lives tomorrow, because college football is lit tomorrow. But yeah, peace. Be easy, man.